Know what it's time for?
Give me the headlines.
Presented by Hyundai. 2 games here. We're going into the newsroom. Late night edition. We got the Bears defeating the Raiders 30-12. Not a great day for your guy, Josh McDaniels. We'll get into that probably a little bit. But it is a good day for the Bears. They haven't had a whole lot of good days. I didn't think they'd have a good day on this day, to be quite honest with you.
No, but you're always going to have a good day when you have Secret Bagent Man.
Secret Bagent Man.
Secret Bagent Man.
Yeah. What's his first name?
Tyson.
Tyson Bagent.
Tyson Bagent.
Tyson Bagent. Yeah. Well, that's why he's secret.
Well,
He's not supposed to know his first
He's
name.
like, shh, you don't know my first name yet.
Division II out of Shepherd. We all know that school, of course, now. But he goes out there. Man, I'll tell you what. We're looking at his numbers right now.
Yeah.
21-29, 162 yards. So we are like dinking and dunking. We're not really stretching the field all that much. But he was outside of the pocket. I would almost guess on like 19 of those 21 completions, it seemed like. And for me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it almost seemed like they had more of a plan of what they want to do with Tyson Bagent than they do with Justin Fields sometimes. It seemed like they definitely had a concerted effort of getting him outside the pocket, short passing game.
I think exactly right. I think that was the big thing, right? It was just high percentage passes. He made a few little splash plays, getting out of the pocket, finding completions, getting out of the pocket, running for a few yards, right? Did that really nicely. And then the Bears kicked the shit out of the Raiders. Like, physically kicked their ass. I don't know. That has to be accentuated. Like,
you think that's the story of the game?
I thought that was the story of the game. I don't know if you heard me on Football Night in America when I did the highlight, but really I said, for lack of a better way to say it, the Bears just kicked the crap out of the Raiders. They out-hit them on both sides of the football. They ran the ball almost, it seemed like, at will throughout the football game, running for 173 yards rushing. Right? Just seemed like the more physical team on the football field. And then the Raiders' offense never really seemed to get anything going. Josh Jacobs and the offensive line, they got their ass whipped in the football game. Yeah, so that's what I looked at. It looked more like just a physical whooping by the Bears. Bears are definitely have turned the corner on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not saying they're like anything great, but early in the year they were looking like they were the worst defense in football. You know, Eberflus has definitely calmed that down to where they're respectable on that side. You know, they got some young guys. They got some new parts there. They're still getting everybody used to their system and what they do. But, yeah, all in all, you know, I thought it was a good performance by them. You know, defense got a pick 6 late in the football game. The Raiders are disappointing. The Raiders are another one where it's just like, if it's not Davante Adams taking over, what is there?
And it hasn't been Davante Adams taking over.
Because everybody
lately
knows that. So it's just like, stop Davante Adams, and we don't really think anything can beat you, right? You know, we saw Jacoby Myers in one game kind of become a guy where they fed him the ball a bunch. But, yeah, that seems to be the problem, let alone without Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, Brian Hoyer's play was below average. I mean, he did not play well today.
He has lost 13 straight starts now. His last win?
Yeah.
Guess the year.
Wow. Hold on. Let me think about this. Is it – he wasn't the Browns quarterback, was he? It wasn't anything like that.
I don't know what team it was.
No. What? You don't know what team it was?
I know the year.
So I'm going to say it's with the 49ers, 2018, was it?
2016.
2016.
That was
– But he was with the
Bears.
Was with the Bears? Damn.
The Bears.
Holy crap. Who'd they beat? Do you know?
I was 11.
You were
Isn't that crazy? Who'd they beat? Well, this is all information.
See, this is where you come up with these things, and then you expect me not to ask you the follow-up freaking question.
He knows. He's all-knowing. They beat the Lions.
Yes,
that's
of
why
course
I didn't
they
want to bring
did.
it up. Why did we even start talking about this whole thing here? Let me go to Tripod 2X because he wants to talk about Josh McDaniels. He goes, Josh McDaniels was hired as an offensive guru, but the offense has been flat out bad. Has the NFL moved past his type of offense? It's very predictable, and nothing seems easy at all.
I think they're valid questions. I do. I think the fact that they haven't found a quarterback and their offensive line's playing the way it's played, I think the surprising to me is the offense took a step back from where it was last year. And Last year there you were. Devontae Adams led the NFL in receiving, and he had the number 1 rusher in the football, and Josh Jacobs. Now you got nothing that, and then you had average quarterback play by Derek Carr last year on that team, and they still did those things, right? So, yeah, it does seem like they took a step back. But like we talked about, the offensive line hasn't been good from the get-go of the year, and I just think they lack playmakers on both sides of the ball. Like, if Max Crosby doesn't make a play for the Raiders defense, who else is going to? Like, there's nobody else that, like, again, I'm being general, and a household that's just a normal football fan is going to go, oh, yeah, we got to watch out for, let's see, Marcus Peters on the Raiders. Like, who is it? Who's the next guy behind Max Crosby that you go watch out for? And then on the offensive side of the ball, without the run game, the offensive line not going good. Josh Jacobs finally just getting into shape, but not going to be himself this year. And then a non-quarterback, they got issues there. And, Josh and Mick Lombardi are going to have to find some ways to be a little more creative and draw up some plays to get them going here. But I don't think the NFL's caught on to them. I just don't think they've gotten to the formula they want as of yet, as far as wiring a quarterback the way they want it wired, to run the system exactly the way they want it run, and then have the run game to go along with it, like I told you, has been an issue. So, the Raiders are in trouble. They're one of the definite worst 3 and 4 football teams in the NFL.
Not great. I mean, this was an opportunity to go 4 and 3.
I know.
And you look at the schedule and like, okay, they can make a little run here. My least favorite part of the game for Josh was with 12 minutes to go in the game when they were down 21-3 and had a 4th and 6.
He punted
from
it.
the 6-yard line. They're 4th and goal from the 6.
Yeah.
And they kicked the field goal to make it 21-6 at that point.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. He's had some questionable decisions like that, certainly as of late, right? We had the Packers game. There was a questionable decision, late in the game where he kicked the long field goal and they missed it, and he gave Jordan Love and company the short field, where I go, man, you either go for it or you punt it there. And then he had the other, what was that? The Steelers Sunday Night Football game where he kicked the field goal late instead of maybe going for the touchdown, remember?
Yeah, and then never saw the ball again.
And they never saw the ball again, I believe, right? So those are definitely things that are going to be, scrutinized, and people are going to start to question what he's doing in managing football games that way.
We'll give the last word to our secret Bagent man, who is the first undrafted rookie quarterback from Division II to start a game since 1950, and the first Bears quarterback to win his first NFL start since Craig Krenzel did it in 2004. Krenzel, was he an Ohio State guy?
Ohio State guy, that's right.
His post-game quote, Bagent, was, "Don't ever let anyone's opinion stop you from chasing what you want."
That's a good quote, and he did a great job. And he's a natural thrower of the football. Let me just say that. He sees the field pretty damn well. It's impressive that a kid like that, he won the backup job for the Chicago Bears as a rookie from a Division II school, right? Had a nice sidearm throw that we showed on Football Night in America. That's what I mean. He's natural in that way, let alone he has the size and athletic ability to be something. So we'll see where this goes, but great first performance by him.
And it's cool. The Bears know they don't need to draft Caleb Williams now. They got the guy. They can just move past that whole thing, stock up on defensive guys. Our next game, for Give Me the Headlines, your Giants beat the Commanders 14-7. Your headline for this game is...
I'm too sexy for your Dexy. Too sexy for your Dexy. So sexy it hurts.
Next gen stats with a stat on Sexy Dexy. Dexter Lawrence generated a team-high 8 pressures against the Commanders, his most pressures in a game since Week 10 of 2022. He was double-teamed at his lowest rate this season, too, 40.5%. 4 of his 8 pressures came against center and former teammate Nick Gates. A lot of info on Dexter Lawrence, who dominated up front for the Giants.
Dominated. The Giants' D-line dominated the football game. I mean, dominated.
Anastasia Williams says Giants defensive line today, damn okay. 6 sacks. Also love the throwback uniforms, too.
Oh, well, I mean, when they put those uniforms on, the 86 Giants come out to play, okay? They put those helmets on, it becomes a different football team. I'm telling you, they should just stick with it. There's something to it. They played giant football today. I did like it. But, all right, Washington, right? One of the things we questioned about them going into the season was their O-line, right? And oddly enough, I feel like the best game they protected the whole year was against the Eagles, right? It really is. I remember, I don't know if you remember in that game, I was like, I'm worried they're going to get steamrolled and they kind of hung in there. Most of the other games, though, they have gotten steamrolled by everybody else. I mean, today, I know Howell, he holds the ball a little too long, and sometimes he could throw the ball away, but instead of throwing it away, he just takes a sack. Okay, we could deal with that, whatever. But it didn't matter. I mean, there was nowhere to go. He had people in his face, and as we keep doing on a weekly basis, this Giants defense is good. It's extremely well coached. They're creative. They stress out your protection plans.
Yeah. They were sending 5 basically every pass.
That's kind of what it looked like throughout the football game. It looked like they went, wait, we're going to send 5. We're kind of comfortable with what you're running downfield. We got a feel for it. So we're going to make one of our one-on-ones is going to win this matchup here. And they did throughout the day. I mean, Leonard Williams was awesome. This was a game that was uncomfortably close for no reason, right? I mean, it was 14-7, and the Giants had a lot of opportunities to kind of blow this open. Graham Gano missed a field goal, that's for sure. We know that. We had the, drop pick by Kayvon Thibodeau.
Oh, my gosh.
We had the drop punt by Sterling Shepard, right? There was a lot of moments in the football game where you were like, the Giants are about to take this over and go up 2 scores, and could never really put it together without screwing it up themselves, really. I didn't look at it and go, oh, man, the Washington's really, making some plays here. It was more like, no, the Giants are kind of messing things up. And, of course, then here, the other thing you see. For 2 weeks in a row, when Saquon Barkley's on the football field, they are a different team. He's a guy that, as we talk about, you got to worry about his ability to catch a toss sweep and go to the house, or catch a screen and go to the house, or just run out of the backfield and, catch a 32-yard pass from Tyrod Taylor and then run down the sideline and make a guy miss and stop and then restart and then score a touchdown, right? So, just one guy like that can open up the offense for them a little bit. And I think we've seen that 2 weeks in a row, let alone Tyrod Taylor's playing good ball. They got Darren Waller the ball. Again, it goes back to what we've said. The Giants in these type of games right here, 14-7, 17-10, 13-10, 17-14, that's the only way Giants can win. It really is. If it goes beyond that, they're going to lose. If we go past 24, the Giants cannot win the game. If they can keep it under 20, I like their chances. And that's kind of what they're going to have to do. But to make Washington with those receivers, right, to go 1 for 15 on 3rd down, are you kidding me? I mean, with the 6 sacks, that tells you not only they had a feel for the offense, but they whooped their ass up front. It's like a double thing there. Really impressed with what the Giants did today.
Yeah, the Giants had 5 sacks in their first 6 games. They had 6 sacks alone today. But as you mentioned, Washington still had chances. And late in 4th quarter, final chance, 4th and 5, Sam Howell threw it to Jahan Dotson a little behind him. Still could have been caught. Probably would have been a first down to the 2-yard line. Could have been different. Could have tied it up, maybe gone ahead with a 2-point conversion. But Washington loses. They're 3-4.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Allen, oh, my gosh, he is not happy about it. Pete, do we hear the sound? Okay, the people, here it is. So Pete said to us before we started, I don't know how anyone directs live TV.
Yeah.
This was the first real live moment for Pete right here to run the Jonathan Allen soundbite.
We got to hear that Jonathan Allen soundbite.
We
got to hear it.
Do we give Pete a second chance, though?
I mean,
I don't know.
The soundbite is so good.
He doesn't sound confident in
it should get a second chance. But if it doesn't work out, then we'll just erase it and act like it never happened.
No, we can't erase it. There's no going back. This is happening in real time. Pete, are you ready? Should I set it up again? Okay, here it is. All right, here. I'm going to do it again. 3,
do it again.
2, 1. We're keeping this all in. Jonathan Allen, after the game, was not happy. Oh, no. He's not talking again. Okay, so here, just sum it up for us, Chris. Basically, what did he say about it?
He just said, do you want me to really say what he said?
No, just maybe just
a lot of bleeps, and he's sick of this bleep.
Yeah.
And we got to play better, and I'm sick of losing these bleeping games. And, this bleep better clean up soon. Something like that. I would say that's pretty close to it.
Will they be able to clean it up soon? They're 3-4 now.
I think they're going to have moments, be a pain in the butt, but no, they're not going to clean it up soon. No. One, defense not playing up to standards or doesn't show me any signs of going, oh yeah, it's about to turn around and they're gonna be one of the better units in football. Like we've been talking about, it's disappointing what they are on that side of the ball. Offensively, like I think they'll have moments against bad defenses, but I don't know if they're gonna look real good against any of the top half of the NFL because of their inability to protect.
Well,
Howell's still young. And they are still learning a new system that's, new to them that way.
And that's maybe a little disappointing for Eric Bieniemy and watching the Commanders' offense is that you do have a quarterback who's probably predisposed to holding onto the ball a little too long. I think he had that problem in college.
Yep.
And you do have an offensive line that's struggling. And so that combination is not great. But if you're Eric, it seems like you got to figure something out here. I mean, you just cannot continue to take 6 sacks a game.
No.
Right?
No.
There's got to be some way to fix it.
There's whether it's got to be more screens, wide receiver screens, a more influence of the short passing game, whatever. Yeah, they got to help protect him a little bit, right? And because, again, back to the offensive line thing, I don't think they're ever going to be able to run the ball consistently against the better defenses in football or a defensive line like the Giants have. Like, people might not know, the Giants have size and physicality. They might not have, like, anybody that scares you off the edge as a pass rusher, so what? But, like, Thibodeau, Jihad Ward are really good run defenders, and you're not going to bully them in that department, right? So, yeah, I don't see that the Washington's going to turn this around by any stretch of the imagination. They were clearly dominated today. I also didn't bring up Saquon fumbling on the 10-yard line going into score 2, right? So I'm like, as I'm sitting here, I'm going, wait, there was more plays here that the Giants messed up that kind of squashed this from being a total, I don't want to say a blowout, but at least a convincing 2-score, maybe low 3-score type of win. But either way, you don't mess with the G-men when they wear those uniforms.
And last thing I know, some of your Giants friends are going to come up to you this week and tell you, they should stick with Tyrod. They should stick with Tyrod.
No doubt.
What are you going to say to them?
I'm going to say, like, 1, offensive line played as good as it's played, and 2, let's let Daniel Jones have a game with Saquon Barkley in the lineup. I think that is a big difference maker, right? I think you get situations and personnel sets when Saquon Barkley's on the field where teams might play in a more aggressive coverage because they're worried about stopping something Barkley, that then therefore lends itself to, hey, look, we're man-to-man with Jalen Hyatt or Waller or whoever, right? But Tyrod Taylor, showing that he's one of the best backups in football.
Giants snapped their 4-game losing streak. They improved to 2-5 with the win against the Commanders. And that was Give Me the Headlines, presented by
Yo, what up, homies? Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Right now, we got Sunday pod, right? So you can have it Monday morning. We recap all the action. Wednesday, it's the What the Happened podcast. We're going to get deep in the weeds on the key matchups of the week. And then Thursday, I'm picking games with that jerk Floria. So you know where to find us, homies. Keep watching. Peace out. We'll see you.